You know, there's something truly divine, something profoundly mysterious that unfolds when two awakened souls, two people who have discovered their true identity in God, cross paths. It's not the fantasy the world sells you in romantic movies. It's not even the poetic version the spiritual crowd talks about. No, this is something far deeper, far more sacred, and infinitely more beautiful than what human expectations have prepared us for. Most relationships, if we're being real, are built on mutual need. Two incomplete people trying to patch each other's emptiness. One says, "You complete me." And it sounds beautiful, but in truth, it's two broken vessels trying to pour into one another, hoping not to run dry. That's what most people call falling in love. But often, it's really falling into need. It's two people clinging to each other, not out of fullness, but out of fear. Fear of being alone, fear of being empty, fear of facing themselves. And there's nothing inherently wrong with this. It's simply where most of humanity still operates. Many of those relationships can function, they can even be pleasant, but they are built on a fundamental misunderstanding. The illusion that you are incomplete, that joy, peace, and fulfillment exist outside of you, that another human being holds the missing piece of your soul. But when two awakened souls meet, everything changes. The entire foundation shifts. Because the first thing to understand is this: awakened souls don't need each other. Let me say that again because it's the heartbeat of this truth. They don't need each other. They have already found the source within. They've discovered that the wholeness they were searching for wasn't in another person. It was in their own divine connection to God. They no longer see themselves as half beings searching for completion, but as whole reflections of divine life itself. So when two such beings encounter one another, their coming together isn't driven by lack, it's guided by love. It's not dependency, it's desire. It's not desperation, it's divine choice. And that one shift from need to freedom transforms everything. The entire quality of the relationship becomes something holy. It's no longer built on compensation, but on celebration. It's not about filling a void, it's about sharing the overflow. Think of it like this: when you're starving, you'll eat anything. You're not tasting the food, you're just filling the emptiness. But when you're already satisfied, when you've already eaten and you choose to enjoy a meal, it's pure delight. Every bite becomes an experience. Every flavor, every aroma is savored. You eat not because you're empty, but because you enjoy it. That's what happens when two awakened souls meet. They're not trying to use each other. They're not extracting energy to fill their inner void. They're simply enjoying one another's presence. Two full beings celebrating the same divine essence through different forms. And here's what's truly powerful. Because neither one needs the other. Because there's no grasping, no fear, no clinging. There's a freedom in that union that most people never taste. Each person is free to grow, to evolve, to move in the rhythm of their own becoming. There's no possession, no control, no silent demand to be someone they're not. Love becomes what it was always meant to be. Freedom in unity, not bondage in attachment. When an awakened soul looks into the eyes of another awakened soul, they don't see someone to complete them. They see God reflecting himself back through another vessel. They see the same consciousness, the same breath of life, the same divine spark shining in a different form. And in that moment, the universe recognizes itself. That, my friend, is what happens when two awakened souls meet. It's one divine awareness experiencing itself from two different points of view, playing a kind of cosmic game of hide and seek. And when this recognition dawns, it gives birth to a unique kind of intimacy. Not the desperate clinging of two people terrified of being alone, not the fiery drama of two egos trying to merge and losing themselves in the process, but something far more sacred, more peaceful, more free. It's the intimacy of two dancers who trust each other completely. They don't have to hold on to maintain balance. They can move freely, gracefully, in perfect harmony, without fear of falling. Let me tell you what doesn't happen when two awakened souls meet. There's no drama. Oh, there may be passion, there may be deep intensity, but not the chaos that comes from insecurity or ego. No manipulation, no power games, no desperate attempts to fix or control the other person. Because both have seen through that illusion. They've graduated from the game of ego. They're not playing it anymore. Jealousy might pass through like a cloud across the sky, but it doesn't take root. An awakened person can feel it, acknowledge it, but they don't identify with it. They don't turn it into a story or a weapon. They see it for what it is, a fleeting wave on the surface of consciousness, and let it pass. There's no fear of abandonment because the awakened soul knows they cannot truly be abandoned. Even if the other person walks away, they remain whole, still complete, still one with the source that gives life. They may feel the tenderness of loss, but not the terror of emptiness. They understand that no relationship defines their worth or determines their survival. And most beautifully, there's no urge to possess, because an awakened soul knows you can't possess another human being any more than you can own the wind, the ocean, or the sky. The other person is free, has always been free, and will always remain free. And that freedom isn't threatening, it's breathtaking. They don't want to cage the bird, they want to marvel at its flight. So what does happen when two awakened souls meet? First, there's recognition. Deep, instantaneous recognition, not the shallow spark of infatuation, but the profound awareness of I see you. I see who you truly are. And in that moment, all masks fall away. Pretenses fade. There's no need to perform, no need to impress. Both can finally rest in their authentic being. This recognition creates a new kind of communication. When awakened souls speak, they're not debating, defending, or trying to win. They're exploring. They're dancing with truth. They can disagree completely and still remain in harmony because they know they are not their opinions, not their thoughts, not their beliefs. They are the awareness in which all thoughts arise and dissolve. And with that comes a profound respect, not the politeness of the surface, but the reverence of spirit recognizing spirit. The awakened soul knows that no matter how deeply they love someone, they can never fully know them. Another person remains a living mystery, an unfolding revelation of God's own expression. And they don't try to solve or control that mystery, they honor it. They allow the other to surprise them, to grow, to change, to remain beautifully unpredictable. Because real love doesn't seek to own. It seeks to understand, to celebrate, and to stand in awe of the divine enigma before it. When two awakened souls walk together, there's often a sacred silence that surrounds them, deep, rich, alive. They don't need to fill every moment with words because their connection doesn't depend on sound. Their very presence speaks louder than speech. The silence isn't empty. It's overflowing with peace. It's consciousness resting in consciousness, awareness enjoying awareness. And when they do speak, their words carry weight. They listen, not to respond, not to defend, but to truly hear. Each one gives the other the gift of full attention. There's no hidden agenda, no waiting for a turn to talk, no pride filtering every word. Just openness, curiosity, and genuine interest, even when their views differ. And then there's the humor, the divine laughter that only awakened souls understand. They can smile at the grand mystery of existence, laugh at the cosmic play, at their own humanness. They don't take themselves too seriously. They can laugh at their own ego, their own patterns, the beautiful absurdity of being human. Even their laughter is healing. It comes from freedom, not foolishness. When physical intimacy happens between awakened souls, it's not born out of need or validation. It's not about escape. It's about celebration. It becomes a dance, a sacred play where spirit meets spirit through form. It's not about performance, but presence. There's no fear, no pretense, no trying to prove anything. Only pure awareness, fully alive in the moment. Two souls honoring the divine through touch, through connection, through joy. And here's the beauty. Awakened souls can be together or apart with equal peace. They don't confuse space with rejection or closeness with control. They understand that love breathes, it expands and contracts, comes together and moves apart like the rhythm of life itself. They honor both the embrace and the distance. Neither is better, both are sacred. Even when conflict arises, and yes, even awakened souls face moments of tension, they move through it differently. There's no pride demanding to be right, no ego desperate to win. They seek understanding, not victory. They can admit mistakes without shame, apologize without resentment, forgive without keeping score. Because truth matters more than triumph. Love matters more than ego. There's a quiet generosity in their connection. Not the strained giving of someone trying to earn love, but the effortless giving of a soul already full. They give freely because it's a joy to give. They celebrate each other's growth, even when that growth leads them in different directions. They don't chain each other in the name of love. They want the other to soar, even if the flight takes them beyond the relationship. And this brings us to something truly profound. Awakened souls understand that their relationship doesn't have to be forever to be sacred. They don't cling to permanence. They don't demand guarantees. They live it fully now. They love deeply without fear, without projecting into the future or holding on to the past. And paradoxically, this freedom, this lack of clinging, is what often allows the relationship to grow deeper, to last longer, to become timeless. There's also a sacred surrender between them. Not the surrender of one to the other, but both surrendering to something higher, something divine, something greater than themselves. Their love becomes an act of worship, a reflection of the Creator through two awakened souls who have found God not only within themselves, but within each other. They allow life to flow through them, to express itself naturally through their connection. They're not forcing the relationship to become anything specific. They're not trying to control the outcome. They're simply letting it unfold, trusting the process, allowing the divine rhythm of life to lead the dance. When two awakened souls walk together, they bring out the best in each other, not by correction or criticism, not by pressure or trying to fix one another, but simply by being who they are. Their authenticity becomes an invitation. Their very presence creates a space so safe, so open, that the other feels free to drop every mask, to lay down every defense, and just be. Each one's awakening deepens the other's awakening. It's a divine resonance, like two tuning forks vibrating at the same frequency, each amplifying the other's sound, lifting the vibration higher and higher. And yet, in all of this, there's a sacred ordinariness that runs through their love. Everything becomes meaningful. The simplest acts, washing dishes, sitting in traffic, paying bills, become expressions of divine awareness. Every mundane task glows with presence. Every ordinary moment becomes holy ground. They're not waiting for some future moment to be happy. They're fully alive now. They've discovered the extraordinary within the ordinary, the sacred within the simple. And yes, awakened souls still feel every emotion others feel: love, longing, anger, even jealousy and sadness. But the difference is they don't become those emotions. They don't build stories around them. They don't resist or cling. They allow them to pass through like weather across the sky. The sky doesn't hold on to the storm or chase the sunlight. It simply allows both to come and go. So it is with awakened love. When two awakened souls meet, they understand that their relationship is not about personal fulfillment. It's not about completing each other or chasing happiness. It's about something far greater. It's consciousness exploring itself through two human forms. It's life experiencing life, God revealing himself through the unity of two awakened hearts. As the old Zen saying goes, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. The outer actions may look the same, but the inner awareness transforms everything. The awakened relationship isn't without challenges. There are still differences, still practical matters to manage, still moments of misunderstanding. But these are not seen as threats. They are seen as teachers. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to grow deeper, to love wiser, to become more present. Every conflict opens a doorway to greater understanding, to a higher level of consciousness. And perhaps most beautifully, when two awakened souls meet, their union becomes a living field of divine energy that touches everyone around them. Their presence carries peace without passivity, joy without frenzy, love without attachment. It radiates outward like light, stirring something sacred in others, reminding every soul it meets of its own divine nature. This is what truly happens when two awakened souls meet. It's not the fireworks, the chaos, or the desperate grasping that the world calls love. It's something infinitely more sacred. It's the meeting of two beings who've remembered who they are, who see the divine reflection of God in one another. They can dance through life together without stepping on each other's feet, walking in perfect harmony, completely united yet completely free. It's not a relationship built on need, but on celebration, not on possession, but on appreciation, not on fear, but on trust, not on striving to become, but on simply being. And in this being, this effortless communion, this sacred recognition, this dance of consciousness meeting consciousness, something eternal is revealed. Love, in its truest form, is not something that happens between two separate souls. It is the realization that there are no separate souls at all. There never were. There never could be. There is only one life, one divine presence, one infinite awareness expressing itself through two awakened hearts as one.